Oh boy, I feel conflicted on this one. There are some people who love the original, and some people who prefer the remake of Assault on Precinct 13. Ethan Hawke and Lawrence Fishburne lead an all-star cast, including John Leguizamo, the clown from Spawn, Ja Rule, and Andrea De Matteo in this explosive, action-packed thriller Assault on Precinct 13. Rundown Precinct 13 is about to close its doors forever, but everything changes and some of Detroit's most lethal prisoners arrive. Soon, the only thing more dangerous than the criminals on the outside is the rogue gang on the outside. To survive the night, the two men on opposite sides of the law will have to work together to battle an enemy who doesn't follow the code of cop or criminal. Yes, you can see the extras right here. And which one do I like? It's like asking some of the people who ask, what do they prefer in, do they prefer The Thing from Another World or John Carpenter's The Thing? And both have their merits and technicalities. So for this one, I like how we have a central character. That I felt was massively lacking from the original. You know, we get Fishburne, we get Ethan Hawke, and they do have some presence about them, but then again, this is what many people call to be an expertly made B movie. You can tell that the budget, because they filmed in Detroit and nearby in Ontario, that's just right across the river. Heck, I think you can even see Caesar's Palace Casino or whatever. So, I mean, it's always cool to see local representation in movies, and I like that. But yeah, most of it is confined to a police station, outside, and then in a forest. So yeah, it's definitely not going to have some big sets, but it felt like it was still honoring the original's sense of scale to where you can tell stuff was going on. But for this one, I liked how there was more of a reason why they were attacking, because they were going after Marion Bishop, who had some stuff going on with another guy named Marcus Duvall. So they're coming to catch him, and he's portraying a bad butt. Portraying a badass, pretty much, I'm sorry. So we at least get to see some standard confrontation, where they are talking, obviously, they say one line, wait a second, and another line of dialogue comes in, which, given the circumstances, it works pretty well here, in my opinion. But you could just tell it's like they're just reciting the lines, moving on to the next scene. But it's not that bad. At least here, I felt like that we got some decent character, albeit standard character conventions and growth and everything else, which is fine. I didn't have a problem with it because, it's like, hey, we're here for the action. We are here to see what's going on. And it's not just, like, the snow outside helps. It helps with, like, the discussions and the emotions, everything going on, which really does make this feel like a cold movie. I mean, it really does feel cold. I'm just like, oh, I would not want to be on certain Precinct 13. No, thank you. I'd rather be in Precinct 14 or 9 3/4. And I'm just like, yeah. This film, in my opinion, is one that follows the standard conventions of a movie. You have two forces that are working together reluctantly to overcome a bigger threat. You have a person who is a mole, which is ironically Brian, I forgot his guy, who is the corrupt cop in Rambo 1, and also non-Chevy Silverado. I just want to make a little joke there. You get the mutual respect between the two at the end, and you get some kind of characters you wish that were more interesting. Unfortunately, they get iced in the beginning, which I'm like midway through, and I'm like, well, dang. But yeah, I mean, we get some fine. I mean, like I said, this movie is fine. I don't know. It felt like a B movie. I knew exactly what was that going in. It seemed like it did pay tribute to the original. I know, don't compare them, but at the same time, making some things that I noticed. It felt like it was paying enough tribute to the original, because yeah, obviously the original is more underrated. Well, that one felt just like it was. Uh, that one was definitely interesting. I'll tell you that much, especially with the ice cream. Here, I also like the updated weapons and how they felt more like a personal threat rather than just like a horde of zombies. Which, I mean, I love the zombie movie, but you know, it gave it a 2000s coat of paint, if you will. How the precinct building was constructed from concept to computer screen. Assault stunt coordinator reveals the planning behind some of the film's most explosive stunts, especially when there's one where there's a bunch of fire being um, ignited. Caught in the crosshairs behind the scenes, and director Jean-Francois Richet, writer James DeMonico, and producer Jeffrey Silver. An assault weapons specialist reveals how he matched gun to character for the film's explosive shootout sequences. That's why we have some explosive shootout sequences. We get some blood, we get some people who just get it. I mean, just like that. And I'm like, dang, of course, there's one scene. And of course, I guess another convention is when they have a hostage and says, how many people are inside there? Lady says 100. He says, you're a brave lady. And then turns around and does that. So, you see that plenty of times. It's like, which one would I prefer? Well, the original one I saw was a lousy DVD cover, the lousy DVD. So I would like to see it on Blu-ray for more beautiful and enhanced experience than the 280p crap that I saw. Oof, that was not good. That was probably lousy. But yeah, they both have the pros and cons. If I want to see some then current style of weapons and action, I will put on that one. If I want more independent style filmmaking that Carpenter's famous for, then I will put that one on. They both have the pros and cons. If you like either one, that's better, but I would have to give the slightest of nods to the original, mainly because of the that scene with the cylinder, and it just feels like the zombies are coming. But anyway, just barely. Carpenter himself has said, "Hey, go ahead and remake it." I think it was quoted saying, "Yeah, I cashed the check and I returned the ball game." So he was fine with it. So yeah, thoughts. Anyway, watch Assault on Precinct 13.